With the ending of Assassin's Creed Revelations in my eyes and in my head, there was one thing that came to mind. 2012. That year was the biggest year in Assassin's Creed history for me. It was the only year that I was completely hyped for the next installment of Assassin's Creed. This was Assassin's Creed 3. Whenever the end of Assassin's Creed Revelations came around and I seen the whole the final scene when Desmond wakes up from a coma and they arrived at the Grand Temple, the first thing came to my mind was, holy shit, that we are here. Like, after this long ass journey from Assassin's Creed 1, and then we got introduced to the first civ in AC2, we are finally at the destination we have seeked, through this long running story. And yeah, there was so much hype around Assassin's Creed 3, it was unreal. I remember so much about the hype. I could not wait any longer for October 31st, 2012. Whenever the first trailer hit on March 5th, wow, I replayed that trailer countless times. It was amazing. I loved that trailer. And we had all the great stuff going on at E3 with Assassin's Creed 3. It was a contender for Game of the Year when we first seen it, and then we got their demos, and a lot of people considered, is Assassin's Creed 3 going to be the Game of the Year? Because it looks like it is, because Ubisoft are really trying their best and promoting this like crazy. They really want Assassin's Creed 3 to do well, because it's the next installment of the series, the main installment since Assassin's Creed 2, which we got introduced to Ezio, but in AC3 we were introduced to Connor, also known as Ratona Hagedon in his Native American name. And when AC3 came out, it was divided. People either hated the game because of Connor, basically, because I'm not going to go into too much detail about that. It's just because we just finished Ezio's story arc, and Ezio was an amazing character, and no one can argue that he was bad in any way. Ezio was the face. For most people, he's the face of Assassin's Creed. When people think of Assassin's Creed, they think of Ezio Auditore da Firenze. Everyone thought of Ezio whenever AC3 came out. We were introduced to Connor. But the great thing is, we didn't see Connor for a while. We got to play as Haytham Kenway. Now, Ubisoft did a really good job on keeping that secret throughout the whole year until AC3 came out on release day in America on October 30th. The very first scene after the very first sequence, just after you just play around as Desmond for a bit, you're placed in the boots of Connor's father, Haytham Kenway, 10 or so years before the birth of Connor. And it was great. I liked the sequences. We got introduced to all the Templars. Yes, spoiler alert. Time we got to sequence 3, the very end of it, we find out that Haytham isn't an assassin. He's a Templar. But even though he has hidden blades, he took him off an assassin called Mikos. I believe he was in the Assassin's Creed Forsaken novel, which I did read, and it's fantastic if you love Haytham Kenway, which I do. And yeah, and we got the Desmond missions in AC3. They were great. I loved that. They were my favorite parts of the game. And then we got to Connor. Connor was great. A lot of people hated Connor. A lot of people are divided. I can say most people are divided by Connor. For me personally, he's a different character. Yeah, he's a different personality compared to Ezio and Altair. He's different motivations. There's a lot of different things about him. I like the way he talked. I like the way he looked. I like the way his combat style was. It was very brutal. He was the most brutal assassin we have seen so far, because just the way he used Tomahawk. And they were originally going to put scalping into the games. You were allowed to scalp people in the game, like such as the British Redcoats and the American Patriots, but Ubisoft removed it. I think it was just too graphic. Well, apparently it was just too graphic for the game, and that's why they removed it. And it didn't suit Connor's character. So yeah, scalping was removed from the game. And well, basically guys, I really enjoyed Assassin's Creed 3. Desmond Miles was the highlight of the game for me. The intro to the game, wow. I don't know how many times I played that. I played that more than the very first trailer that came out for AC3. Holy shit, holy fuck guys. The trailer was unreal, I swear. It's the best intro for Assassin's Creed in my opinion, and also one of the best trailers for any game in history, because it talked about Desmond, it talked about the end of the world. It had William Miles narrating the trailer and just giving us a whole backstory on what's gone on previously and what's going on now and what's the whole situation at the minute. And he says at the very end we have a 360 of three main characters, two main characters prior, and the main characters of the entire franchise. We have Desmond, we have Altair, and we have Ezio. So it starts in Altair, Ezio, and then we get round to Desmond. He's holding the Apple of Eden, and he just says, his name is Desmond Miles, and he has brought us to the end. Whoa, I swear guys, I love that so much. Whoa. Oh, their trailer was amazing. Amazing. And for me, Assassin's Creed 3 was the last great Assassin's Creed game in my opinion. I loved it, and I know a lot of people disagree with me that people love Assassin's Creed 3 because people hated it just because of the main reason, which was Connor. People had a lot of problems with Connor, but Connor was a different character compared to Ezio. You can't compare the two, and Ubisoft wants to have different characters in different games in their new installments. So please stop bitching about he's not like Ezio. Oh, he's not like fucking Ezio. Ezio is a great character, and he should be left alone now because his story is finished in the Assassin's Creed series. He will never return ever again. So let's move forward. Let's respect the new characters that I brought into the series, because you know you're never going to get the same. You're never going to see Ezio again. So get over it. I think that's enough. Ranting over for now. But yeah, guys, what do you think of Assassin's Creed 3? I love the gameplay. I think the gameplay was great. The free roam was fantastic. I love the way that Desmond and Connor were running. The running animation. I really liked that. The ending, it was very sad. I wish we had a Connor sequel, to be honest. I wish it would just happen because Connor deserves it. Just the way it ends, it's really sad. And then there's a lot of other things. We needed, we just need a little more Desmond missions. I think Desmond deserved a little more time in AC3, and maybe Hatham was just taken back a bit and just took his time in the game down to 2 sequences. Maybe we got more time with Connor, because 2 sequences with Connor, he's a child and then he's a teenager, and then we get to the main assassin part at sequence 6 just after we complete the first Desmond mission. So I think they could have just brought it back a little bit, just a little bit, just to make it, a little perfect in my opinion. But Assassin's Creed 3 was still perfect in my opinion. I loved the whole game through and through, and just the ending. The only gripe I have is the ending. Probably the most disappointing ending I've ever seen in Assassin's Creed. It was sad as well, but it was disappointing as well, because we've seen the death of Desmond Miles. I will miss Desmond Miles for the rest of my life. If you never return another Assassin's Creed game, that's going to be the way it is. No more Desmond Miles, my favourite character in the franchise. But anyways guys, that is the final episode of the Assassin's Creed Nostalgia Trip series. I really hope you enjoyed the series, and let me know what you thought of the series in the comment section below, and what would you like to see for possible future Assassin's Creed projects you would like to see on the channel. Be sure to leave your recommendations in the comment section below, and tell me what you thought of the overall series overall. And if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and tell me in the comment section below on what you thought of the overall video. And let me know what you thought of AC3 and what you thought of the Nostalgia series or the Assassin's Creed franchise up until Assassin's Creed 3. Thank you guys so much for watching this series, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching.